Create a truth table for the statement A and not B or C. We start by writing out the most basic, simple statements that are used to construct this statement. So that's A, B, and C. So we're going to have a column for A, and a column for B, and a column for C. And then we need to build this complex statement from these. So we kind of start from as basic as we can and get the more complex, increase in complexity as we move through our table. So here I've got in parentheses B or C. So I'm going to need a column for B or C. Okay. Then of course I have the negation of that. So we're going to go and look at the negation of B or C. Now that I have that full thing, okay, and I have my column for A, then I'm ready to do the combination A and not B or C. So this is going to be my, those are going to be my columns for my truth table. Okay, so now those are our columns. We need to decide how many rows there are going to be. So to determine the number of rows, we look at how many base statements there are, just the simple, it hasn't been combined with anything, with no modifiers or anything. And for us, that's 3. Okay, we have A, B, and C. And with those 3 statements, that tells us that we're going to have 2 raised to the 3 rows. Okay, it's 2 raised to however many base statements there are. So there's going to be 8 rows here. So hopefully I made this big enough. So we'll go ahead and split this into 8 rows. All right, there are the 8 rows for our truth table. Now we need to look at all the possible ways to have true and false for A, B, and C, and different ways to combine those. So for the first column, we simply make half of them true and half of them false. So there's 8 rows, so I'm going to have 4 trues and 4 falses. And then in the B column, so for next column, we look at each block of trues. So here we had 4 trues. So for the next column, half of those will be true and half will be false. And we do the same thing for the false statements here. So half will be true, half will be false. And then we do that same thing for the next column. Okay, so here for a block of trues, half will be true and half will be false. For this block of falses, there will be half true and half false, and so on. And that that's a way to make sure that we've gotten every possible combination of true, false for our statements. Okay, so now we're ready to look at these combined statements. So here we've got B or C. So B or C just means it's true if one of those columns is true. So here I've got true, so that's true. Here I've got a true, so that's true. Here I've got a true, so that's true. Here I do not have a true, so that's false. Here I have a true. Here I have a true. Here I have a true. But in this last one, I do not. And note that we were just looking at B or C. So we were only looking at the B column and the C column to find a true. Okay, next we have not B or C, the negation of the B or C. So we're just negating this column, which means we're just flipping the truth value. So true goes to false, and false goes to true. And now finally over here, I have A and not B or C. So now I'm looking at the A column and the not B or C column. Okay? And the and means I'm looking for both to be true. Both columns I'm looking to be true. Okay? So for this, the first row, this one's not true, so this is good false. Again, not true, there's false, not true, that's false. But this fourth row, I've got a true there, and I've got a true there, so this is a true statement. Okay. Now, the next three, we see falses, so we're going to have false. This fourth one, there's a true here, but the A was false, so I didn't have both trues, so that's false. So there's our truth table for this compound statement, A and not B or C.